baby. So yeah, kind of look like a couple of dragons. Come on, baby. Keep smoking. Oh yeah, I got a number over here. Look at that. The last week, sitting in the car. I'm gonna pull this out of the way. Show you the back. Hey guys, I thought I'd do a little more drawing on the tree tonight. And remember how I put the sun over here to the side and I was talking about the shading? I know you couldn't see it when I went back and watched the video, but if I move you in close, see how on the left hand side of the tree I've kind of drawn it darker? You know, I'm going to shade that in a little more later, but on the left hand side I've tried to draw it darker on any branch that, you know, I mean that branch right there needs a little more, but that branch is nicely shaded on the back side, the one in the center of the screen there. And that's just, you know, one thing that I was trying to explain about the shading, because the sun's off over there to the right. Any branch is going to be darker on the left side, and as you go down you're going to have shadows, you know, under these branches that are in the front. You can see how I drew that branch in the front right there. You're going to have shadows under that branch. As you can see, I've drawn right there at the tip of my fingernail, part of the shadow. So just wanted to give you a little bit of explanation before I get drawing here again. I think that branch looks pretty good. Let's turn it around there for you. Right side up. Looking pretty good so far for a tree, huh? Let's do a little more shading on this trunk here so I can get you this idea.
As you remember, this this branch gets small very quick because it goes out back. It goes into the picture. So that branch gets small really quick. But I guess I could add some more detail on there because it's going to have branches. Just got to go real light pencil when you're out that far. Okay, the shading's starting to look a lot better. I didn't go into shading a whole lot before, just because I was trying to get something drawn, and then now I can go back and do touch-ups and fill-ins and some of the shading in there. And then I'll show you. Some close-up. that tree filled in there. Get this trunk down below this tree a little bit, and then I'll bring you in for a close-up. Alright, let me grab the camera and I'll bring you in for a close-up.
Okay, here's a better look of the shading. You can see the shading under that branch, the bottom of that branch, where the sun's up over there shining down on it. Same here, you can see kind of the shadow that branch casts across a tree. Up to the top, you can see the shadow under that branch there. Here how it's darker. That's that branch that goes out the back. So that one's gonna look a little different. I probably need to do a little more on that branch there, but it's not a bad looking tree, and we'll do a little more drawing on it and see what happens. I just don't like how stubby I made that top, so I think I'm gonna make it a tall, proud tree. I think I'm going to end up extending it to the end of the paper. I just don't like how stubby I made that top. So we're going to make the tree a little taller. It's a nice thing about drawing, you can do that. You don't like something, you can change it. I love drawing, it's peaceful. Just relaxing. Although when I draw, I do look over my glasses because I am nearsighted. I can see very well up close. I can see a pimple on a flea's arse if you want to go there. But just to keep from cussing there. Yeah, up close I can see great. It's just far away distance where I need my glasses. Otherwise anything more than 12 inches away is blurry. And I always like to, I don't know why, I mean it just looks better to me. Put those branches coming out on a bend. Oops, went way over there. The branches coming, let me draw this way. The branches coming off like that or that. I always like to put them on a bend going back the other direction. It just looks better to me. as you can see, drawing a branch is like drawing a tree, only smaller. Each branch you draw, you've got to turn that branch into a tree. I like to start from the end and then maybe add on if I need to, but it's just seems easier to me to work my way backwards because I know where I want to stop, and then you got to kind of alternate your branches back and forth, back and forth. And like I said, like on an elbow like this, I like to come off with another branch. It just seems natural to me to do it like that. Alternate your branches. I mean, evergreens are the only trees that I know of that the branches come out like in rings every so often. And that's only certain evergreens. Not all do. I know the pines that we had in the yard growing up didn't grow like that. They grew all over. But I think spruce does. Grows like that. The branches grow in rings around the tree. That's what makes a lot of them good logging trees, because they don't split up. They don't have big branches coming off. The tree grows straight up, and just little tiny branches coming off to the side. Spruce, I'm guessing spruce. They say spruce, pine, fir is what they sell, but I'm pretty sure we had pine trees, and I know for a fact that those branches grew every which way, just like any other tree. It's looking pretty good. I don't know how much more I'm going to continue drawing on that tonight. Got to work again tomorrow. Haven't been off from 10 or 11 days, something like that. Working every day. And then even my last weekend that I had off, I only had one day off. So one day is nothing to speak of. Time to do laundry and pick up the house a little bit, and that's it. Back to work the next day. You can hide a lot of mistakes in the branches. Well, I don't know how far I'm going to draw this tree down, but I mean, you're starting to be able to see some shading. Maybe I'll add another branch in the front or on the side over there and get in the shading a little more here in the next couple days. I think I'm just about done drawing for tonight. When you're drawing anything, it's all about the shading. Since my sun is off there to the right, I'm gonna want to shade everything to the left a little darker. Now this branch is going out the back, so let me go the other way. I'm not going to shade around that. Now everything on the right of the tree, you're going to want to actually kind of shade that too. Just that edge. That creates that nice crisp clear edge that says, that's the end of my tree there. But then back here, you're going to want to like feather it in. Darker on the left, going to brighter on the right. And then here around this branch, I show that branch is sticking out the front. This one's kind of sticking out the front the other way. Too far. So you just kind of shade it in, make it look like it would, with the sun shining off to the right. But like I said, you're going to have to make that crisp, clear, just one thin dark line on that right side of the tree to dominate that side, to show that that's the edge. And same with this branch here, since the branch is coming out the back a little bit, the edge of my tree is going to show over that branch. And that branch does not actually even curve into the tree as much because of the fact that it's on the other side. So I just kind of wanted to do that little bit on shading there to kind of show you some of the detail. You don't see that when I'm drawing so far away, so we wanted to do, whoops, wrong way. Wanted to do a little close-up detail there for you on the shading and show you, just like on this branch here, how it's darker on the bottom where it's coming in. And meeting the tree, because the sun's off to the right over there. So you just kind of get your dark, and then feather it in. You don't want just a dark line. You got to kind of feather it in and make it look good. It doesn't look bad there. Not bad at all, considering the sun's coming from the right over there. So, and then these little, let me get the pencil and show you. These little dark spots like here, here, them can be knots. They could be branches that got broke off. I mean, it could even be a branch that runs out behind the tree that you can't see. So, yeah, it's just, it's just the characteristics of a tree. Trees aren't perfect. They have their flaws, and you have your flaws when drawing them. It's all about the shading.